we anticipate an allocation out of the US based on the announcements and the discussions that are taking place within the next 2 weeks. We have ordered and paid for Johnson & Johnson starting in August, 1.9 million doses, not receiving all at once, but over several months, but starting in August. That is still on track, and we do expect to get additional supplies in July from the COVAX facility. But we are now at a stage in the administration of vaccines when supplies are tightening up. So what it means is that in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have to tell some persons, no, you cannot get the vaccine, whether first dose, and perhaps, in some instances, a second dose if you're due and you are below the age of 50. Because we know that some persons are due, if they calculate based on the 8 weeks calculation. I want to be very clear, so let me spend a little time on it, and I crave your indulgence and patience. When we had embarked on this program, the protocol guidelines that were announced around AstraZeneca was that the time between your first and your second dose would be between 8 and 12 weeks.
After you get the first dose of the vaccine, the germ-fighting tools, they decline over time. But when you get to about 120 days in your 3-month period, you still are protected just by about 30%. And the recommendation, therefore, is between your 8th and 12th week for getting the second dose. Now, also recommended is if you have missed that 12-week mark, you are really to get the vaccine as soon as possible after. We're not going to be restarting the schedule. It will just continue. Now, when we gave dates for second dose, when we started in March, the majority of persons would have received their second dose for week 8, and all of those persons would have been vaccinated in the Blitz past. So we are now, for this week, actually vaccinating persons who would have received 10 weeks as their date for the second dose. So those persons we are deferring for another week or 2 are still within that 12-week period. And that is very important. So you are protected from your first dose because you're still within that period. And the recommendation from the experts continue to say that once you have passed that 12 weeks, then you get your vaccine as soon as possible.